Good evening, good morning, wherever you might be around the world. So we're going to do a breathwork and qigong masterclass. It's going to be session 4 of 5 that I've been doing this week. Thank you very much for joining in. Just going to give it a few minutes. I've literally just started, so going to give it a few minutes for people to log in, because once we get started I won't be repeating myself too many times. I say that, but the last few sessions I've had to repeat things a number of times because the nature of IGTV, people keep coming in and out, so we ideally want to get a good few people here within the next 5 minutes, and those few people here ideally should complete the whole masterclass. So if you're here to do some breathwork and qigong and learn breathwork and qigong, hey, how's it going? LV? So we are going to do a breathwork and qigong masterclass. So we're continuing the last few sessions, meaning we'll be continuing the journey over what's already been discussed. So this will be bringing some of those concepts in together with qigong, so the breathwork concepts, and taking it to another level. And I'll be explaining how everything is energy. So everything is energy, right? So everything, I mean everything. I'll explain that a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So let's give it 5 minutes for people to join in. Thank you all for joining in. We'll get started very shortly, a few minutes. Just want to get a good number of people here. SpiritX, thank you very much for joining in. Ill Things, Jane Borders, Aham, LV, Michael, Mediumship by Joanne, Blake Green, Endo Research, Geliton, Gabro Donza, thank you very much for joining in. So just a quick recap, we're going to be continuing the Kamo Breathwork Masterclass, but now we're going to be bringing Qigong into it. So everything is energy. Discussed prana in quite some detail in the last few sessions. Going to talk a little bit more about Qi today, and how to manage, master, manipulate energy. Mary, Siddhikant, Siddhi, Person Andre, how's it going? Much love. Thank you very much for joining in. We'll get started very shortly, a few more minutes. As always, before any breath work or meditation, well, breath work is my form of meditation, but I like to always cleanse. So some sage, white sage, stubs are really good. I always get mine with a feather because it's just nice to cleanse your auric egg. So when we say everything is energy, I mean everything. Everything, meaning your thoughts, your emotions. Emotion is nothing but energy and motion, but emotions become negative emotions when energy is no longer in motion. So emotion, I talk about that. Thoughts are energy. Feelings are energy. God is energy. Divine intelligence is energy. Consciousness is energy. Breath is energy. Everything is energy. Life is energy. Without energy, there is no life. Life force energy is what we're talking about connecting with. So when we say connect with God, connect with divine, it all starts with connecting with the divine. The life force energy. Life force energy. So everything is energy. Alright. Most people will watch the recording back, as I've been finding. Hundreds of people have been watching the recording, so which is good, the masterclass sessions, because not everyone can make them live. So as long as people are getting it and getting the message, but ideally, again, if you are here for session 4 now, just keep in mind we've already done 3 sessions as a part of this masterclass that I've been doing on IGTV. So this will be continuing that. But white sage, very powerful. So the smell, the scent is very cleansing to the aura and the energetic field, the bioenergy field. So around us is the bioenergy field, creates a torus-like shape. I've spoken about it many times. I've done posts about it. So the biofield, the bioenergy field, goes a few feet around you and your whole body. So imagine like an apple shape energy field all around your body. It goes from the top of your head, stems out like this, goes into the bottom. So like an apple, it goes in at the bottom, comes out like this, comes out at the top, and goes in at the top. So you need to keep that visualization in mind. I actually done a post earlier today, a repost, because I wanted to bring it back into your minds if you haven't seen it before. But if you haven't seen it, please go when you have a moment to check on the Instagram page this post, because you need to visualize this as we talk about energy and healing your biofield, your aura and the energetic field. Right, so this is actually an atom. This is an atom, right? And that is how the energy field runs around an atom. Notice it has a spiraling form and it travels up and down. Okay, but the spiraling form travels up and then comes back down. And this is what forms that torus, which is your bioenergy field. Okay, this is your etheric body. All around your body. It goes about 4 or 5 feet outside of your body. That is your soul. Right? So around your body, visualize it like this. These are the basics that you need to understand before the rest of today's session. You need to understand these basics before the rest of the session. So that is how the bioenergy field runs around the atom. It also travels in the same way around, it's very similar to this, but your heart will have an energy field which travels up and around. Actually, your heart is shaped very similar to this. Okay? So this bioenergy field, this spiraling waveform energy, you need to remember this. You need to remember this for the rest of today's session. Okay, visualize this, get it in your mind. That's how it flows around your whole body. So your bioenergy field is traveling through your body. As I discussed in the last few sessions, there's the central channel, the Sushumna channel, okay, which flows from the base of your spine here to the top of your head. Okay, your root chakra to your crown chakra. In the last few sessions, I spoke about connecting with your 8th chakra, which is actually your higher intelligence within the auric etheric field. So within the biofield itself, above this area, there's an 8th chakra, which connects you to the intelligence of this whole bioenergetic field. Now what we're talking about here is unconscious intelligence. Unconscious intelligence. Okay, your unconscious mind is processing 4.3 to 20 million bits of information per second. It's what's keeping your blood pumping through your veins. It's what's keeping you breathing unconsciously. It's what keeps you alive at night time. The unconscious intelligence is connected to divine intelligence, the intelligence of God. What it is, the intelligence of God. It's a part of you also. So the unconscious intelligence is powerful enough to keep your body alive whilst you sleep with no conscious effort. And most people are unconsciously breathing, right? So not consciously taking control of what is unconscious. But to become super conscious, you need to become conscious of the unconscious, as we spoke about in the last few sessions. So we need to master conscious breathing and conscious movement in order to do that. So everything is energy. Consciousness is energy. Intelligence is energy. We're not talking about intellect. Intellect is not required for higher intelligence. Intellect is not required whatsoever. Academic requirements, qualifications, intellect is not required, because that's a thinking, conscious thought pattern. Intellect is not required. Lesser intellect and more intelligence. Intelligence is automatic. That's why it keeps your body alive. It keeps blood pumping through your veins. It keeps your heart pumping. So when we do breath work and the qigong, we must connect with unconscious intelligence. So when you see me doing qigong, I'm connecting with unconscious intelligence and I'm feeling life force energy. Prana is the life force energy behind breath. Qi is the life force energy we feel through movement. Primarily through the hands, but you feel it through your whole body. But we're going to use the hands today to teach you the basics. I'm going to teach you some of the basics of qigong with the breath work, which we've already done. So I'll recap some of the breath work concepts. So just a reminder, the Kamo Breathwork framework, the full framework is on themindofmatter.com, www.themindofmatter.com. It's completely free, 8 modules. It's available to everyone. Complete that to get an understanding of the breathwork framework. Of course, I put it together and took things further in the last 3 masterclass sessions. Today I want to take it further by bringing the qigong concepts in. But everything is energy. Okay, God is energy. The divine is energy, whatever you want to call it. It is energy. God is the energy that creates life. Like, we didn't need a business plan to be born. We don't need a business plan to stay alive the next day. We don't need a business plan to stay alive at night. So all this whole idea that you need intellect and conscious thought is bullshit. It's not that you don't need it, but for higher intelligence, you don't need it. Okay, you need it for everyday living. Yes, you need to make plans, make choices, decisions. But for higher intelligence, it just gets in your way. So trying to work it out with conscious thought, not required. So when it comes to healing, we need to get conscious thought out of the way, because all your fear, your doubt, and your disbelief will come from conscious thought, which usually then becomes unconscious patterns, becomes unconscious habitual patterns. As I said, we don't need to master unconscious habitual thought patterns. We master unconscious breath and become conscious of unconscious breathing. And then we master the energy behind breath. And then we also master feeling energy, qi, around our biofield energetic field, which I've just discussed there, with our hands, and learn to visualize our energy. So as I've just said, this, you need to visualize it. Anybody that's just joined us later, we're doing a Kamo Breathwork and Qigong Masterclass. This is session 4 out of 5. So we need to visualize. So this is an atom. This is how the energy flows around an atom. This is, I've just reposted this last post. Notice the spiraling nature of energy. That's how energy flows. So life force energy flows like this around an atom. Life force energy flows like this around your body. Okay, you need to keep this in mind. So this is what I said, in the middle here, in the center there, the center here is the Sushumna channel. Okay, I spoke about in the last few sessions. The left side is yin, Ida Nadi in yoga. Ida, I-D-A, Nadi. Nadi meaning it's a channel of energy. So Sushumna channel is a central channel. That's where the vortex of energy, as I said, like a hurricane in a spiraling manner, travels up that central channel. Right? Travels up that central channel. Travels down and up. Okay, so when we do the full exhalation with the Kamo Breathwork framework, we visualize that energy going down. When we visualize the energy going upwards through the Sushumna channel, through the 7 chakras, and out through the crown chakra, connecting us to the 8th chakra in the etheric field, we visualize the energy going upwards. Okay, so I spoke about this in the last few sessions, right? So inhale through the mouth. Remember, the tongue needs to go on the top of the mouth when we do the inhalation. That activates the pituitary gland and the pineal gland and the carotid bodies, which creates a triangle shape there, and the actual third eye is within that triangle, which is what this symbol represents. The mind, body, spirit, the all-seeing eyes when you transcend all three. So remember, you need to put it all together. So, with the basics, the Sushumna channel, central channel traveling upwards. Okay, central channel where the energy can travel upwards through the chakras and downwards through the chakras. When we do the full exhalation out, we visualize the energy traveling through the 3 lower chakras down through the base of the spine and out. That's for cleansing and getting rid of all that negative nonsense energy. Okay, once we've done that, we then bring the inhale to bring the positive, fresh, new prana energy in without the nonsense bullshit. In through the 7 chakras upwards, and then through the crown chakra, connecting us to the God within, 8th chakra. Right, so that was upwards, and we use the hands to guide that energy. Remember the tongue on the roof of the mouth or the pituitary gland to get activated, okay? And then the cerebral spine fluid travels up the spine. It activates the pineal gland, you get the pressure on the back of the head, and you feel it. And then the third step of the framework was to hold the breath, right? So 10 to 20 full inhalations in, then hold the breath, and then breath retention for at least 30 seconds, up to as long as you can. And then when you're done with that, then rhythmic breathing like the rhythm of the ocean, in and out. You can see I'm always using the hand anyway, quite naturally, because I do a lot of qigong. So when I feel energy, because breath, the energy behind prana is energy. Remember, as I explained, breath work, prana is the energy behind breath. It's not the inhalation of oxygen. Prana is also on the exhalation. Prana is also there on the holding of the breath. And this is why we get the intense rush of that energy when we hold the breath, because the prana energy actually gets to its greatest during the Kamo Breathwork when we hold the breath. That's why you get lightheaded and your 5 senses get distorted. So anyone that done the last 3 sessions, we went into the alpha brainwave frequency, theta brainwave frequency, trance-like state. So last time I was doing the spiraling motion with my body and doing side to side because I was going into a trance, okay? We also activated gamma brainwave frequencies, which is flow state and high frequency performance state. Okay, so I spoke about the brainwave frequencies, not going to cover that again. If you want to cover that and you missed it, the last few sessions, they are on the page. They're also on the YouTube channel. The last 3 sessions are already done. So that's a recap. All right, so now we understood that. Some of you guys are new here. I see some of you guys are new to this, but the last 3 sessions we've already covered the Sushumna channel, which is the central channel, which the energy, prana, life force energy, travels up through the 7 chakras and down through the 7 chakras. The Ida Nadi is the left, divine feminine. The Pingala Nadi, the right, the divine masculine. Left is the negative charge, right is the positive charge. Left, right, positive charge. Right? So we already understood that Ida Nadi and Pingala Nadi is a serpent-like energy which actually activates the Kundalini energy, but it has both charges, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It needs both to be charged. So with the Kamo Breathwork, we already awakened the Kundalini energy in the last 3 sessions. We went into theta, alpha brainwave frequency, which is a relaxed meditative state. Then we went into theta, which is a trance-like meditative state, a deep trance-like state. Okay, and we had an out-of-body experience in the last 3 sessions. Okay, some of you guys had a real profound experience the first time you'd done it, this is why it's so powerful, right? This is why I share this gift with the world, because it's that fucking powerful. So, but you have to understand, everything is energy. Consciousness is energy. Your thoughts are energy. Emotion is energy. Emotion, energy and motion. When it's not in motion, you get negative emotions, or what feels like negative emotions, because your energy is no longer moving. That's stagnant energy in your chakras, in the energy centers. So by doing the energy work, we're cleansing the energy, but using the force of God, which is life force energy. The force of God is what creates breath. Without breath, you're dead. We do not create breath. God does. The divine intelligence does. We do not create life. God does. God gives us life. We do not create life. So we need to devote and surrender to that energy. That is how we connect with God. We understand God is energy. The divine is the intelligence is energy. As I said, intellect is not required. Conscious effort, conscious intellect is not what we need. We need less of that and more intelligence. Intelligence and intellect are two completely different things. Intelligence is automatic. This is why you breathe unconsciously. This is why a lot of people don't consciously take control of breath, because it's happening anyway. You're going to stay alive anyway with unconscious breath, but it's not the most efficient way to stay alive. You'll stay alive, but are you truly living? There's a difference between living and being alive. To truly live, you need to master energy. Energy is everything. Energy is your thoughts. Energy is what's behind physical matter. Energy is what's behind your emotions. Energy is what's behind your feelings. Energy is what creates breath. Energy is what allows for you to move. So, we've already covered the basics of the breath work. So what we want to do now is bring the qigong into it, right? So with the qigong, the basics, I'm going to show you again. Just remember, you need to visualize this, because a lot of new people have joined in. So this is how the energy flows around an atom. Can you teach me in a more deeper way? Well, you firstly should have joined the first 3 sessions. This is the session of 4. Okay, there's I teach courses and people in qigong breathwork all the time. So this is a IGTV masterclass. So yes, absolutely, that's what I do. I teach people how to master energy and manipulate energy and become the masters of their life. That's what I do. That's my purpose in life. So yes, you missed it, I know, because I don't know your name. So that's why I'm telling you this is session 4 of 5. Okay, so you've got to go through the first 3 sessions to understand it fully. So for anybody else, again, reminder, this is session 4 of 5. The first 3 sessions are already on the IGTV tab. Started the first one on Saturday, did one on Sunday. We did one on Monday. We did another live yesterday, which is just more about unconditional love and serving and selfless service to others. Above all, serving others is the most important spiritual practice. Okay, so, but yeah. Okay, back to this. So if I could just ask, because it is a masterclass, it's not really a question and answer session. If I can just say, anybody here, just avoid questions until we open up for questions later. Because otherwise you're just going to ruin the flow for everyone else that's already been doing the masterclass sessions. And we're already in the flow of it. And otherwise it just get really long. So we had this the last time, and it just disrupts the flow for everyone. So please, please, please respect that. So again, basics. So this is the flow of energy. Remember the Ida Nadi, Bengala Nadi, Shushumana channel, right? Vortex of energy. The biofield, the energetic biofield, is your aura. It goes all around your body, about 4 or 5 feet wide outside your body. As I said, visualize like an apple shape. Right? I'll see if I can turn these comments off somehow. No, I just have to ignore them. I'll just scroll to the top so I can't see the new ones. Okay. Basics. Back to basics. Yin yang. Negative, positive charge. We are electrical human beings. Everything is energy. Right? So energy has a negative and a positive charge, just like a battery, right? A battery provides energy, but it has to have a negative and a positive charge. When you charge a battery, it has to be charged on the negative and positive charge, right? And also, as an electrical human being, you also need to be grounded, just like a plug socket needs to be grounded or earthed, right? So this is why we do grounding as well. So for managing energy, one of the key things that I practice on a daily basis is also grounding, okay? Taking my socks off and making sure that my feet touch the ground. If my feet don't touch the ground, my hands will touch a tree or touch leaves, or touch plants, something that's alive, okay? Something that's alive. So my feet and my hands need to touch something else that's living, something else God created, not a fucking physical brick wall that's not alive. Right, so this is why in my story today I spoke about the importance of getting around nature. Because if you want to feel alive, you got to be around what's alive. So get around nature. That's an important thing. I discussed in yesterday's live that we need to connect with music, love, nature, and breath. Those 4 things on a daily basis, right? So qigong, the basics is to understand that we've got the negative and positive charge behind all energy. Okay, even when you think about breath has the inhale and the exhale. The inhale is the yin, the exhale is the yang. The inhale is the feminine, the yang is the masculine. The divine feminine is passive, like the womb is passive. The male, like if you look at the male sexual organ and the female sexual organ is passive, yin. The male sexual organ, the penis, is expressive, yang. So yin is passive, yang is expressive. So when we connect with energy, we need to understand that there are 2 sides to energy, all energy. Passive and expressive. Passive is the divine feminine energy. The divine masculine energy is expressive. Right? So the Taoist way, so I practice the Taoist way. The Tao, spelt T-A-O, but pronounced D-A-O, Tao. Tao is the way of the universe, or the way of life force energy. So life force energy is flowing through the universe, flowing through us, flowing through animals, flowing through plants, flowing through the cosmos. And you will notice the spiraling form of nature everywhere. So as I said, visualize this spiraling form. This is the energy field, because you need to visualize this for the rest of today's session, because it's going to go up and down your body, all right, and around your body, the energy flow. But the spiraling nature, you see it everywhere. Hurricanes, okay, hurricanes are wind, but when you see a hurricane formed from a macro level, from a higher bird's eye perspective, right, it's a spiraling form. A twister, spiraling form. The galaxies, spiraling form. Okay, I've done many stories on of plants and flowers, spiraling form. Snail shells, spiraling form. The spiraling form is the key visualization to master energy. You need to understand that all energy has a spiraling form. So all energy is spiraling upwards, then out, and then back inwards, and then back upwards, and back inwards, then back upwards. That's how energy flows in and out of your body. But it doesn't only flow in and out of your body like that, it flows into your biofield, which is your soul, the light body spectrum. So your light body is out here, 4 to 5 feet all around your body. That's your light body. So when you astral travel, you activate your Merkaba, it's in your etheric field, not in your physical field. Etheric field is the next plane of existence, subtle matter. So this is physical matter. Next plane of existence is etheric field. Then we have mental realms. Then we have Buddhic realms. Then we have divine low egoic realms. We have different realms. We have the atomic realm, right? So we have different realms of existence, 7 planes of existence that I often talk about. Okay, but again, that's a bit off topic, but we'll revisit that subject another time. But 7 planes of existence. But the physical plane, the next plane that you need to connect with is etheric. So it has to go in stages. You can't just go straight to divine. You got to go through the stages. So you got to go from physical to etheric, subtle matter. Then you go through the phases. Okay, so I've made that journey through all the 7 bodies. So you need to understand there are 7 different bodies to you. Not just the physical body. 7 different bodies. The next body is the etheric field. Right? And that's what this is. The etheric field. That's how it's visualized. Alright, so the basics. So with yoga, Ida Nadi, divine feminine. Pingala Nadi, divine masculine. Okay? Channels of energy. Well, those are the charges of the energy. The Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, which actually allows for that vortex of energy to travel up the Sushumna channel that we harnessed in the last 3 sessions. So we feel it massively when we bring the visualization and the breath work together, especially through the way that I do it with the breath work through the mouth, with the tongue at the roof of the mouth, because it has to activate the pituitary gland and the pineal gland and the carotid bodies. There's 3 points that you need to activate for the third eye, not 1, because there's misinformation out there where people say the pineal gland is the third eye. It's not. It's one of the 3 components of opening the third eye. One of the 3. The pituitary gland and the pineal gland and the carotid bodies, which are here in your throat, leading up to the lower part of your brain stem. That's the carotid bodies. So you through the breath, we activate that. Through the tongue at the top of the mouth, we activate the pituitary gland. And then through the breath retention, we activate the pineal gland. So the 3 come together to activate the third eye. Then you start to see light within your etheric body. Then you start to connect with the light body. You see your light body, then you connect with your light body. Alright, so firstly, you don't just go straight there, right? You got to learn the basics. So the basics are Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, Sushumna channel, vortex of energy traveling upwards through the 7 chakras. Now, Qigong, basics, you want to feel energy. So one of the key first techniques you want to learn is feel the energy flowing from the sole of your feet. So this needs to be done standing up. Coming through your legs, through your midsection here, through your upper body, your torso, then up through the top of your head and out. Okay, so energy coming in from the earth, through your feet, all the way through that Sushumna channel, up through the top of the head and spurting out, right? So with the first Qigong exercise, we need to feel energy with our hands. Okay, so what you do is feel the energy coming from the ground, from the earth, into your hands. Okay, and with movement, feel the energy and get in flow with feeling energy with movement. That's the basics of Qigong. Feeling energy with the flow of movement. And remember, initially you will do it with some conscious effort, but with anything, as I teach, it needs to become unconscious. So you always practice, there's 4 stages of learning. Unconscious incompetence, when you know you don't, when you don't know, you don't know. Then there's conscious incompetence, when somebody realizes, wait a minute, I don't know about this. So some of you here would be thinking, wait a minute, I don't know anything about this. So then you get interested and then you go to the next level to learn it. And then when you learn it, then you practice it, you become consciously competent, which is the 3rd stage of learning. But mastery comes from when you do something enough that it becomes unconscious. So it becomes unconscious competence. That's mastery. Right? So like when you learn to drive a car, you initially consciously try to do everything. You have to think about putting the indicator on, thinking about changing the gears, putting gas, stepping on the brakes. Then you just know where you're going to go and you just drive and you're there because you become unconsciously competent at it. So the objective is always unconscious competence, but you can't just jump to unconscious competence. You have to become consciously competent. Elena Gorium, I'm doing a masterclass here. I'm not accepting anyone in my live. Thank you very much for the request. So you must understand that you must connect with this. You must connect with it. So everything is energy. We must be connecting with this. We must be mastering this. So, but it starts with conscious competence. You need to learn some basics, right? Before you. So when I'm doing Qigong, you see me doing it to music, it's all unconscious. I'm not thinking about any movement whatsoever. So some people say, how do you know what move to do? Well, you don't. It's unconscious intelligence. As I said, unconscious intelligence is where God is, not conscious intelligence. God doesn't need a business plan to create life and end life. God doesn't need a business plan to give you the next breath and the next heartbeat. It's happening automatically. What you need to remember is that is a part of you. You need to connect with that power. Stop trying to overthink everything and figure it all out. You don't need to. The power is in not having to figure anything out and letting God and the divine intelligence flow through you. That is the way of the Taoist. To allow life force energy to flow through you. Like here, I don't know what I'm going to say. I just turn up and talk. God talks through me. The divine talks through me. That's life force energy. Right? So you just need to get in tune with it. So how do you get in tune with it? You need to feel it. So Qigong is about feeling. So energy coming from the earth. The first technique, this is basics. The most basic Qigong. So you would do a little bit of a bend in your knees and feel the energy coming up. Feel the energy in your hands, and as you feel the energy flowing up, breathe in with it and bring it up, and then slowly push it back down, and then a little bend of the knees again. So it's a slight squat, and you just want to get into the motion of feeling that energy flowing up and down like this. So this is the most basic movement that all Qigong should begin with. So basics, right? So everyone should be doing this. Feel it. And you should feel the energy with your hands. Remember, there's the left side and the right side. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Yin and yang. Yin is left hand, right is yang. Yin, yang. So feeling yin yang coming from the earth, flowing through the body, up, gently, and back down. Okay? So that's the first technique you want to consciously practice and master. Next technique is feeling yin and yang in your hands. So first you want to feel yin and yang. Yin, yang. Yin just above, you want to feel yin here, at the top of your chest, yang here, near your tummy, right? Yang here, it's a lower dantian in Qigong. Okay, so here, you want to feel yang, here yin. What you want to get into the habit of doing is breathing in with yin and out with yang. Initially, just want to get used to that, just feeling the breath. So the prana and the chi connecting now, prana and chi, which are both life force energy, but you're now connecting the both, okay? Remember, everything is energy, so you do not need to figure out how to resolve anything. All you ever need to do is bring energy into balance. This is the power of Qigong and breathwork when done properly. You do not need to you do not need to figure anything out. You do not need to try to work out the solutions to your problems with fucking mental arithmetic and logical thought. Remember, all the power of God is with unconscious intelligence. It's automatic. And that is where energy is. As long as you balance energy, everything aligns itself. So self-healing, mentally, physically, and spiritually, is all about balance. It's only imbalance that causes problem, physically, mentally, spiritually. Physical, mental, spiritual issues are because of imbalance. It's that simple. You're either more yang or too yin. You need to always be both. This is why I'm soft and hard. I'm soft, loving, kind, caring, but very hard at times as well. Sometimes a little aggressive and motivational and very energetic. That's the yang. The yin, kind, passive, relaxed. So I'm always practicing both states, yin and yang, the states of mind. You need to master both. As in my book, Live the Dream, you need to master both. Yin and yang. So we need to feel yin and yang first, right? So yin, yang. When you got a feeling for yin and yang, remember the energy needs to travel through the Sushumna channel, right? It needs to flow. So then what you do is you move yin and yang. So yin, yang, once you feel it, you start moving yin and yang. With the breath. With qigong, most breath work and most practice is done with mouth breathing. It's not that we don't use nostril breathing. As I explained in the last 3 masterclass sessions, we did a combination of breath work with the nose and the mouth. But most of the breath work is through the mouth, because that's how you really control and master energy, in my opinion, and practice. And most important, practice and experience has taught me that. So use the breath through the mouth. Okay, so feeling it in, out, yang. When you feel it, then you want to move it. You're feeling yin yang, positive negative charge, because everything is energy. To master energy, you need to first feel it, and then you need to be able to move it. So you want to be the master of energy, you need to first feel it, and then you need to be able to manipulate energy by moving it. When you feel energy and start moving it through your physical body and the biofield, the aura, the energetic field outside of you, because this is why a lot of my qigong, my hand movements are out here, because I'm cleansing and clearing my whole auric field, and it's inside and outside, physical and etheric work that's going on. Right, remember this, the energy traveling upwards all around the body. This is the atom, this is the human body, this is how energy flows around the body. Got another visualization on my page, which I reposted again recently, just in case you need the visualization of the energy flow through the hands, the spiraling form, again, the spiraling form of energy. Spiraling form of energy as seen throughout nature. This really clearly shows you the apple-shaped torus energetic field that I spoke about. Again, these posts are on my page. But these visualizations are important. Now on the mindofmatter.com, the full Kamo Breathwork framework course is there. Again, it's completely free for everyone, so anyone can go there and get it. It's 8 modules that explain the whole breathwork in a lot of detail, and the visualizations. Okay, the visualizations of the Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi. You can actually see the serpent-like representation of the Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi here. So visualization is important because energy, you need to see it and feel it to really master it. But through feeling it, you start to see it. Because it's through feeling, your third eye opens and you start to see the energy. And that's where you want to get to, where you see the actual energy in and around your body. that's how I often heal myself. I healed myself, so many people don't know. I had a neuropathic neurological disorder. Okay, never really got diagnosed, but I had neuropathic pain all over my body, started in 2012. I thought it was cancer, many things, because I could never figure out what was causing it. But for 2-3 years, I tried all sorts of medication and stuff, which just messed me up. Amitriptyline, gabapentin, I really advise staying away from those drugs because they can affect you in many different ways negatively, as I learned. So I've had to live through pain every day of my life. Neuropathic pain, like sharp shooting nerve pain all over my body, sometimes in my brain, sometimes in my cheeks, sometimes in my arms, sometimes in my legs, sometimes in my heart, sometimes in my groin, everywhere. I healed it with qigong. I healed myself with qigong and breathwork and meditation, because everything else, the doctors were just giving me nonsense. And I've had to do the same with my mental health. Okay, came off all the drugs and the medication that Western medicine, not saying that it's not required, but there's a lot you can do to heal yourself once you master energy and learn to manipulate energy, right? So I healed myself from a neurological disorder, nerve pain all over my body. And I also healed myself from the fibromyalgia. I've healed myself a number of times very quickly from a number of things. Okay, I've got a slip disc at the moment, which more than likely happened when I used to do strong, heavy weight training, strength training, squats and deadlifts. So I had a problem with my back, lower back, for a number of years. Sorry, average. I'm doing a masterclass. We're not taking any questions right now. Sorry, it just ruins the flow because I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. So yes, self-healing. Self-healing. Remember, everything is energy. So I learned qigong a while ago, right? But I needed to practice it. But sometimes it takes pain to give you the wake-up call. But you don't need to wait for pain to start working on stuff, right? So the slip disc issue, I've been working around it, right? So I still go weight training. I've still been walking in nature. I still, as I always say, if you can, you can. So I work around my pain, but I'm working on now healing that, right? Which I believe I can, because I know I've healed things before. I healed a bird the other day that my cat and another cat injured, which was basically dying. I done a reel on it. I gave it the Midas touch, because when you master manipulating and feeling energy, you feel it in your hands. You will gain the ability to heal things with your hands. I've done it many times. So you can do it, is what I'm saying. It's all possible. Anything is possible when you understand everything is energy, and if you learn to master energy. Right, so we were just working with the basics there of qigong and moving energy. Which we've just done. Alright, so let's do another one. So yin yang, remember feeling it here, yin yang, then we was moving yin yang. So again, just want to stick with the basics right now. This is always the most basic qigong movement. Yin, yang, feeling yin, yang. Okay, so we just done yin, yang flowing up and down the Sushumna channel, right? The vortex of energy, as I said, travels up and down. So when we feel yin and yang, divine feminine, divine masculine energy, we must learn how to move it too. Because it's the lack of movement of energy that causes problems. Causes blocked chakras, And the blocked chakras causes physical issues, mental issues. So when we keep cleansing our energetic field and making sure the energy is flowing through the Sushumna channel and not stagnant, we keep healing ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically. So this is a daily practice I do. It's had a lot of impact, you know, as I've said, as I continue to practice this mentally, physically, spiritually. I mean, nothing else connects me better to life force energy. Combination of breathwork and qigong. So now the next step is going to be understanding that energy also expands and contracts. Expands and contracts. So what we want to feel is energy this time around expanding and contracting with the breath, but feeling it with our hands. Again, everything is energy. But with our hands we can feel the chi, and with our breath we can feel the prana. They are both life force energy, both connected. So this is why I bring breathwork and qigong together. Well, qigong cannot really be done without breathwork. Qigong, the core of it is breathwork. It has to be breath and movement. Right? So the next most basic movement, okay, is the contraction and expansion of energy. Okay, so this is really simple. As you again, is yin, in, and then out is yang. Okay, in, yin, out, yang. In, yin, passive, out, yang, expressive. Divine feminine in, divine masculine out. Divine feminine in, divine masculine out. This is life force energy. As long as you keep getting in balance with life force energy, that is the natural flow of the universe. You will heal yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, because that is the divine nature of the universe. It's self-healing. And you are connected to that. So, with the hands, next step, feel yin, negative charge, yang, positive charge, right? Rub your hands together. This just charges the energy. And start to feel the energy in between your hands. Notice there's a charge of energy and play with it. If you don't get the charge and you don't feel it, rub your hands a little bit more. Just like a battery, you can charge a battery, right? By rubbing it. It's the same thing. You're an electrical being. You cannot forget this. Okay? Charge your hands. Feel it in between your hands. You should feel energy in between your hands. Right? The energy should be emanating from your hands. And if you don't feel it, visualize it, and that will help you feel it. Visualize the energy there. Okay, close your eyes, if you need to. But keep doing that until you feel it. Okay? The next step is going to be to breathe in and out with this concept. Yin, yang, negative, positive charge. Okay? So now, breathing in the universe, energy of the universe. And then breathing out. Now you should be feeling the energy still in between the hands. But as you move out, you should feel the energy expand in between your hands here. Feel life force energy. You need to feel life force energy in your hands. The life force energy is all around you. It's flowing around you, as I've just shown you in the biofield. It's here. It's in the empty space. Connect with it, feel it. In your hands, in between your hands, feel it. Right? So those two techniques, so yin, yang. Then moving yin yang. Once you mastered that move, then master this one. Those are the most basic Qigong moves. Okay, the first one we started with was from the ground, the energy up. Left hand, right hand. The energy here, you can swirl it around if you need to feel the energy traveling up from the earth into your hands. Okay, feel the energy going into your hands. And then little squat, bend your knees, in. Bring your hands up and then down. So this is the technique that I'm actually doing a lot of right now to heal my slip disc, and it's really working, really helping. But I did notice when I wasn't doing this one and I was focusing on more the upper movement and I wasn't doing my stretching, my physiotherapy, because I'm doing a lot of things. Because when you want to heal yourself, it comes with effort. I mean, discipline, daily practice. So this is why I'm a practitioner and a strategist. I say learn less and do more. You don't need to know more. A lot of people are addicted to more information. You need less information and do more with that less information. Because it's through doing that truth is found, not through reading and learning. Reading and learning are only signposts to what you need to do. When you do, you learn the truth. You cannot feel energy and connect with life force energy, which is God, without doing. The doing can be many different. I've said in yesterday's video, spiritual practices that I do: go for a walk in nature, connect with life, not stuck in a physical building. A physical building, this building here, is not alive, it's dead. If you're stuck in buildings all day long, skyscrapers inside your house, you're not living. You're not surrounding yourself with living things. I've got a garden, I sit in my garden a lot. Okay, I live in the countryside, so I go for a walk in the countryside. B, if you want to feel alive, connect with what's alive. Be surrounded by living things, plants, trees, animals, flowers. Then you will feel alive. You want to feel dead? Stay indoors. This is why in my stories I do breath work outside. Because breath work and qigong is even more powerful outside. Yes, I'm doing it inside right now for the purpose of this. But when I do qigong and breathwork masterclasses locally, I do them in nature. I take people into the countryside, into the park. Because that's where it's most powerful. So yes, you can do it indoors. Yes, you can start with that. But to take things to the next level, do it around what's alive. You want to feel alive, you want to really truly feel healed and really truly feel like you're alive. Because remember, you can be alive but not be living. There's a massive difference between being alive and living. Living to your fullest is like truly being alive. Just having a life is not being alive. Most people are just mulling along day by day, not progressing mentally, spiritually, physically. That is not growth. If you are not growing, you are dying. It's that simple. You are like a flower. And as a flower is birthed, it grows. More and more petals blossom. And your petals should be blossoming every day, not dying. And it's up to you to make a new petal blossom every day. Just one petal, one practice. That might be a walk in nature. I'll go for a walk in nature. Today I went for a walk in the countryside. Okay, that will connect to me with life force energy and God. Because that's God's world. When you're in nature, that's God's dream. God dreamed. This is a dream world, right? Like in my book, Live the Dream. This is a dream. Okay, it's a temporary dream. I create things. I created this t-shirt. I created this logo. Okay, somebody else created that painting behind me. Someone created the phone that I'm talking to. But that's man's creations. Somebody created this chain. Right? These are man's creations, but we are co-creators. That's why we can create things within this dream. But God created nature. God created us. God created animals. God created plants. Connect with what God created if you want to connect with God. It's that simple. God created breath. Connect with breath. God created movement, connect with movement. God connected nature. God created life. You want to connect with God, connect with what God created. It's that simple. And then the divine will flow through you, because it's all just energy. Right, so these are the basics of breathwork and qigong. The next session, session 5, I'm going to take things to the next level, and we're going to do a gamma brainwave frequency, high performance flow state qigong meditation practice. And I'm going to be doing it to music, because I explained why I do it to music, because that's the next level. All right, much love. Thank you very much for joining in.